What's up, Star Brother? My name is Esme, and I'm a shaman in training. On my platform, Activate with Shaman Esme, we get into makeup, metaphysics, and self-exploration. I'm really excited to introduce myself and a collection of mine. If you caught my earlier videos, maybe you saw that I posted an eyeshadow collection. It was a big blessing for me to be able to collect that eyeshadow collection. Today I'm going to show you another one of my collections, and it's one that's near and dear to my heart and very relevant to my day-to-day life. Before we get into that, I'm going to give you a chance to click subscribe, click the bell, set a reminder, anything you need to do so you don't miss out on contact with myself, and I look forward to seeing you after the pause. Alright, so today I'm going to be sharing with you my daytime skincare collection. This is really important for me because I'm currently a student in New York City for aesthetics. Skincare, self-care, makeup, self-creativity, self-expression is vital to my core being, and I get a lot of joy expressing myself visually through these mediums. It's really great for me to be able to share with like-minded people. On my platform, no one is better than anyone else, no one is right or wrong. We just really like to unpack the stories and magic of the ages, get into the mysteries of metaphysics, and develop a better self-understanding using self-exploration and creativity. So, without further ado, my skincare collection. So this is a very specific branch of my skincare collection. This is actually my daytime routine, okay? And, well, it's got a lot of steps. The reason that my skincare routine has a lot of steps is because I use a lot of essences, I use a lot of hydration, but actually everything in my skincare routine makes sense. And so I'm really excited to share that with you because I have recently been learning professional aesthetics. For the past 2 to 3 months, I've been studying in New York City, and I've been learning so much about so much, and I love it because it makes me realize, like, I don't know anything. And that's the best feeling, because if you have that feeling, that means that you're in a sense of wonder and everything is going right. You're just like in the vortex, you're in the flow, you're learning. My class is really great, so I'm going to share about that with y'all while I go over my skincare routine, daytime edition. I do like to look like a glazed donut. I have normal type skin with enlarged follicles. Follicles are not your pores. Your pores actually create sweat. Follicles create oil, and we find the biggest ones usually in our T-zone area. So I'm going to show you how I keep my enlarged follicles looking nice and tight. We cannot close follicles, but we can create an illusion of tightness, and we can also exfoliate the skin so that we get rid of any gunk that's gonna create visual texture. And I'm really excited to show you guys how I do that. So my skincare story is that I have really complicated skin. When I was an early preteen, I had a lot of pustules. I remember my grandmother telling me to not sit next to her because it gave her like an itch to pop them, and she was going to hold me down and do it. So I would kindly move away, but sometimes I would ask my family members to help me with my acne. And we pretty much were just like a Cetaphil house. We just used Cetaphil. I mixed Afro-Indigenous, my mom's side and my dad's side. I have a pretty basic skincare routine until I was about 18 years old when I started working in the beauty industry. My first beauty job was at the Body Shop in the Wiregrass Mall in Wesley Chapel, Florida. It was a great place to work. I loved my team. I loved my time there. And I got really into the tea tree line. They had a tea tree line, and they also had a seaweed line. And I would alternate. My bangs are so like weird today. I would alternate for each need that I had, because I had like combination normal to oily skin. Right? It wasn't oily, it wasn't too oily, but it was like, ooh, you look shiny. Like, do you want a blotting paper? And I was always like, yes. And I always had like a lot of texture, especially bumps, that like even if you couldn't see it hardcore, it did block the glow. and it did feel textured, like pebbled. So I got into skincare, got really into sunscreen, which is a good thing growing up in Florida. And then I started some medicine that I was allergic to and had a full body histamine reaction. Everyone knows that monkeypox is going on right now. Well, one day I can commiserate with that, because one day I woke up and the palms of my hands were covered in hives. It didn't happen automatically. Like, it wasn't like I woke up and my hands were covered with hives. My hands were starting to bother me. My hands felt tight. And then as I was getting ready to go to work at Sephora in the Short Hills Mall in Millburn, like, literally my hands exploded with just hives. It was the most painful thing I've ever experienced. I remember crying, and then after that, the pain hurt so bad that I started hitting my hands with like a ruler, and the smacking was a pain that I could endure and brought relief, versus the incessant swelling and itching and hotness of the hives. It was absolutely terrible. It was the most terrible thing in the world, actually. It was terrible, 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 terrible. And I had cystic acne and pustules and blackheads and whiteheads. Oh my god. And I worked at Sephora, so I had to wear a full face of makeup over that. It was a mess. I looked like a yogurt covered granola bar. I like scared people. One day I like came into work with no makeup to try products, and I like had everyone staring at me. Like, it was nauseating. Like, honestly, I don't have any pictures of that time. I refuse to allow people to take pictures of me without makeup on, because the horror of seeing myself, I still actually kind of recoil when I remember that time, because it was just that traumatizing to me. So I had a lot of acne and texture spots, and I managed to get rid of those using chemical peels and microneedling and a lot of skincare. So I'm excited to share this. And I'm also excited to learn more. So if there's anybody who wants to say anything about all of the things we're talking about, feel free to leave it in the comments. I'm super excited to get to know y'all better, and this is how I'd like to get to know y'all better. Hearing what you gotta say in my comments. Please say this outfit is cute and that my bangs are nice, because I feel like they're kind of cute, but I don't know. Okay, so first things first, I don't have anything on my skin, but I have started prepping. Prepping is super important for my skin, and I like to prep with two items. I like to prep with a sheet mask, and I like to prep with the Kiru Masamune High Moist Emulsion. This stuff is gold, guys. I have a bottle. All of the ingredients are in Japanese. If you are interested in learning why this bad boy is so good for your skin, I highly recommend you look it up, but it's pretty popular if you don't know about it. The Kiru Masamune High Moist Lotion has a lot of products in it that are going to help to brighten your skin. Kojic acid, sake from the Kiru Masamune sake plant, as well as placenta, arbutin. It's going to really just brighten and also moisturize on a deep level. And in order to get that lovely essence packed into my skin, I'm going to use the Hada Labo Gokujon 3D mask. And I like to just pretty much unwrap this and then put a few squirts of the Kiru Masamune High Moist, and then slap this baby on and meditate to some binaural tunes for about 20 minutes, and then like just plump. Because if I don't do that, my skin can get really dry and patchy. So that's what I did. When I was starting school, you know, they start teaching you about skin analysis and stuff. And was something that really excited me was to learn what type of skin I had, like actually officially according to like an esthetician, what type of skin do I have right now? Because our skin types can change with age and with hormones and diets and like our exposure to the sun. So I was really excited to see that I have like normal skin, and my esthetician teacher told me that that was a unicorn type, because most people do not have that, and literally you don't really have to do anything, it's just maintenance. But when you say maintenance to me, that means hard work because I'm trying to prevent anything from happening to this gorgeous visage, all right? No, but hardcore, like you want to make sure that your skin has an equal balance of water and oil, and that's what makes normal skin. And so like my enlarged pores come from growing up in Florida where it's really hot and I needed more oil to create a barrier for my skin so that my skin wouldn't like lose all of its water because it was all evaporating because it's so hot. So when you live closer to the equator, if you live in a hotter climate, I can speak. If you live in a hotter climate, your pores are going to maybe a little bigger, and that's to create a little more oil so that your water doesn't evaporate out of your skin. We're 50 to 70% water, so we definitely need to make sure that our water content is protected. And that fancy word for water loss is TEWL, or transepidermal water loss. So I just packed my skin with a lot of moisturizer. Hydration. It's like water for my skin. Sake. Have a drink. So, you know what? I think it's also important to highlight what cleansers I'm using. Before I started all of that lovely hydration process, I had to make sure that my skin was in the right zone. So I use a few different cleansers. I'm currently using the Good Molecule Cleansing Balm to remove makeup. And for daily maintenance, I use the La Roche-Posay Normal to Dry Tolerant Hydrating Gentle Cleanser. This is dermatology tested. It's safe for sensitive skin. It gently cleanses. It says it has a pH balance somewhere on here. Soap-free, sulfate-free, fragrance-free. It has ceramides and niacinamide. Now, why is that important? Ceramides are fatty little molecules that like moisturize your skin. I want to look that up. I remember learning that in class. I remember learning that the ceramides create that lovely barrier along with the hydration. And then niacinamide is vitamin B3, and that's going to help maintain lovely pores and follicles and oil production, and like keeping your skin like glowy because all the moisture is still like in there. So ceramides, yes, how do they work? And are they safe? Yes, they're a really well-known effective skincare ingredient, and they are lipids. I was right. So lipids are fats, waxes, oils, some vitamins and hormones. They occur naturally within the body, and ceramides are one of the 9 lipids that are present in the epidermis of the skin. Ceramides are actually part of a subgroup of lipids called sphingolipids. Ooh, they help to actually cement. They act like mortar for the brick, so they help to cement and seal in moisture with the skin cells. So they're between the skin cells, so they prevent transepidermal water loss. So this is just gonna like create a lovely addition for your skin to use to get your skin to make, I think the lights are too bright, there we go, to make like a barrier. You want to promote your skin barrier so your water doesn't evaporate. And now for an exfoliant, I use the pineapple exfoliating powder by Good Molecule. I like this. Okay, it's okay. I wish it was scrubbier. That's the only thing that I wish. I wish it was grainier. I like the Stone Crop face exfoliating powder by Eminence. I love that texture, and I think I'm a bit spoiled for that. So after I washed my face with the exfoliating powder first, and then I went in with the La Roche-Posay ceramide cleanser, I popped on a sheet mask of Hada Labo Gokujun 3D mask with a few pumps of the Kiru Masamune High Moist Lotion. I'm trying to show you the label. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to get into actives, and that's where I want to start with y'all. Excuse me, I'm just gonna get closer. And yes, I like to sit on the floor. Crisscross applesauce keeps you young. Keep those joints flexed. Make sure you can move. I remember like doing aerobics a few days ago at the Y, and I totally got into like a frog squat, like just squatting really deeply. And someone was like, wow, I haven't been able to do that in a long time. And I was like, well, it comes with practice. You gotta like constantly be working on your mobility. So I got nice and close for y'all. I'm going to take my glasses off as I explain my process. So I only use 4 actives during the day. I mix 2 of them as prescribed. So I did get in touch with The Ordinary after I put together this routine, and it was okay, actually. They said it was really good. And they added some steps for me to look at, essentially adding a buffet with copper peptides to my routine at night, but they actually liked what I do, so I'm gonna show ya. Because I just packed a lot of moisture into my skin, my serums are not gonna take any like water from my skin, because I just packed like all of this stuff right into my skin, all the water, all the ceramides. My skin is ready to drive these serums home, but I want to make sure that I put on a serum that is not going to freak out if it touches water. That means we are not going to start with vitamin C. I do have vitamin C in my routine. I have an antioxidant in my routine. I have amino acids and B5 in my routine, as well as niacinamide. I'm going to show you how I work that, because I know a lot of people are like, whoa, how are you going to put that vitamin C with the niacinamide? You'll see. So, we're starting with water. The amino acids and B5 serum by The Ordinary, I'm not even going to try to show you guys the label because the lights are too bright. It is a water-based formula. And according to DCM, you're going to want to put this one on first, because water goes to water. We're going to wait for it to absorb, and then we're going to follow up with the ascorbic acid 8% plus alpha-arbutin 2%. And we're going to add a few drops of an antioxidant called picogenol, 5%. The reason we're going to add a few drops of the picogenol is because it's going to amp up the antioxidant powers of the vitamin C. And because that vitamin C has alpha-arbutin in it, it's going to really brighten my face, okay? This is going to do like real work on any dark spots, hyperpigmentation, like I'm going to glow, okay? I'm going to glow. And it's lovely. The picogenol is actually derived from French maritime pine trees. This is actually an essence derived from pine trees that are actually known as the everlasting life tree. Back in the day, it was thought that you couldn't kill a vampire with the steak made from a pine tree or an evergreen tree, because like the vampire, the pine trees, evergreen trees, they don't die. So it's true that these trees stay looking green and fresh for a very long time when normal trees are brown and withered. And they developed this picogenol from the essence of that. You know what? I don't even know what to call that process, but that's where this came from. So we're going to finish off with niacinamide powder, and we're going to put it in an emulsion. And we're going to talk about that as we get to it. I'm going to take my glasses off. I'm going to show you my Mr. Magoo eyes. I squint. And then I'm going to talk to you guys about like what it's like to be an aesthetic student. So being an aesthetic student is really fun. I really have a passion for makeup. I have like core memories of watching my mom put on blue eyeliner. Ooh, actually, before I get into that story time, let me preface something. And I forgot, but I didn't completely forget. Water. Here's a spray bottle of just plain filtered water. Serums take water in order to drive deep down into your skin. So make sure that you are putting enough water on your skin to activate your water-based serums. Notice I say, oh, you know what? I'm so silly. I have a clip. Your water-based serums. We don't want to do this if we're just like using an oil-based or anhydrous solution. I wanted to make sure my clip was cute. So, you know, putting this amino acids is going to give my skin extra amino acids to make peptides. Amino acids are building blocks. And B5 is going to contribute because B vitamins are water soluble. So we're going to make sure we pair it up with a lot of moisture so it can get down deep into my skin and make sure that my skin has enough ingredients to make elastin and collagen. Just feeding my skin good foods. Alright. We're just gonna wait and get back to the story time. So yeah, I have been doing aesthetics for like 3 months. I like it a lot. It's like really interesting. I really like makeup. I really like skincare. I have core memories of watching my mom put makeup on and being like, yo, those face crayons are legit. I really want to always use those. And, you know, getting to use makeup is a pleasure for me. Getting to touch other people is also an experience for me. As a person who's on the spectrum, touch is a complicated occasion for me sometimes. And I really enjoy being able to heal and be healed and engage in this really lovely healing way. It is a lot of healing when you're doing aesthetics. So I'm going to check to make sure that my vitamin C solution is not oxidized. You can tell because it would go orange. And then I'm going to add a few drops of the picogenol. You guys just saw up my nose! I keep trying not to do that. I learned in my earlier videos that, like, that's not pretty for the camera. Well. Anyways, I've made some new friends at school. That's always fun, getting like-minded people. I really like being part of an ambitious team of people who are just, like, driven and passionate and ready. And that's so fresh. It's so fresh. Because I feel like after the pandemic, I really wanted to get into the classroom with other people. I did a lot of studying on MOOCs, like Coursera, the Harvard MOOC, or the MIT MOOC, or Udemy. And those were great, but like, I really wanted to get in the classroom. And so I'm happy to be able to do that. It's really a great experience. So I'm gonna wait for that to really absorb. This feels really great on the skin, and I think you guys can see that the moisture and the solutions have created like a lovely glow. So yes, I call this the glazed donut. Weird story. Actually, the first day that I created a glazed donut video for my skincare, when I first got this idea a long time ago, I think last August, Haley Baldwin posted hers, and I got freaked out because I said glazed donut and she said glazed donut, and I was like, no, the synchronicity. I got spooked. But like, this is my glazed donut solution for my particular skin. Again, I have normal skin with elongated pores, so you know, I just got to do maintenance. I got to make sure to feed my skin good ingredients. Most of the ingredients that you get from food and drinking water don't go to the skin. So it's always good to supplement your skincare routine with healthy ingredients in your actives. I am not necessarily for anti-aging. I just really want to like age gracefully and beautifully and take care of myself. So I'm going to drop a 1/4 spoonful of the Ordinary's niacinamide powder, and I'm going to mix that with a lovely emulsion. This is the Moly watermelon extract emulsion. I know I picked it up and put it away really fast. It's the Dew All Over serum, and it smells like a Jolly Rancher because it's formulated with 50% vitamin-rich watermelon fruit extract. It's a great all-over serum that works wonderfully with my niacinamide powder. And because we layered it in this way, everything's gonna work just fine and create a super glowy, lovely effect that both hydrates and activates my skin to grow beautifully. Ideally, if you can, I would recommend as an esthetician to get a facial at least once a month because our skin goes on 28-day cycles. So if your skin is growing every 28 days and replenishing itself, give it a little help by making sure that your skin is ready to receive a shipment of nutrients that you can subsidize to your skin so it can build really beautiful skin for the long term. All right, so now that we've done our actives, we've done 3 actives. We've mixed 2 of them. We mixed the vitamin C and the picogenol. Before we applied the vitamin C, we did the vitamin B5 and amino acid serum by The Ordinary. And then we finished up with The Ordinary's niacinamide powder with the Moly Dew All Over watermelon serum. It's actually not like a serum, actually. It's a fruit extract. I don't know. It says it's a serum, but it's like kind of thick and marshmallowy. I don't even care. It's so yummy. It's like thick. It reminds me of like pudding. Watermelon pudding. It's so beautiful. So your neck and your skin actually are different. Your neck skin and your facial skin is actually different. So make sure that you're being careful about what actives you're putting on your chest, because like retinols can sometimes be too strong if they're in the higher concentrations for the very thin, delicate skin of the décolletage. I want to lock in all of this beautiful moisture around my eyes. So I'm going to go in with the Good Molecules Yerba Mate Wake Up Eye Gel. This is a lovely way to prevent my eyes from getting milia. I get milia sometimes from eye cream, but the Yerba Mate gel is lovely, it's cost effective, and I like the texture. This is going to create an occlusive layer to help make sure that my eye space is rejuvenated, moisturized, and fresh. Eye cream is not a necessity, but I use it. Bite me. Alright, so we are almost done actually with this, and I'm glad because I'm talking a lot, getting a little self-conscious. We are now to the moisturizers. Just building that moisture level is very important for me, and building a glow. It's like really hard to get like glowy skin without feeding your skin a lot of moisture and making sure to top it off with the right occlusive layer. So I'm going to give it a little more moisture by using the Chok green tea watery cream. So I don't know if y'all noticed that my moisturizers and essences go in a type of thickness level. Starting with the first thickness is water. Then I like to use the Kirumasamune emulsion. This is like very watery. It's very, very watery. It's like sake gel. So you can layer this stuff all over makeup, you can layer it over primer, you can layer it over sunscreen beautifully. The way it layers is like phenomenal. And it does smell a little bit like sake when you first pump it out, but it doesn't smell for long. So then the next layer of gel is the watermelon, and that's why I wanted to show you that it's kind of like pudding-like, but it also liquefies very fast. This watery cream is like flan. And yes, I am sticking my fingers in my containers because I did that before I started aesthetic school, before I knew better, and like, I'm just gonna do it for right now. So this is like, as you see, it's not liquefying. This is like a souffle. I would say this is a souffle. So these layers of hydration, and this is such a lovely hydrator. This Chok moisturizer is made with 100% green tea instead of water. So wherever they would put water, it's just green tea. And it smells so lovely and divine. Oh my lord, it's so lovely and divine. The texture, the moisture, it just feels so good. It really does. And the smells, I'm such a sensory person. One of my favorite things about skincare is using scented products. I'm not gonna lie, I love scented products. I know that some scented products are not good for you, and that's why I try to avoid them if they're not derived from 100% green tea. But when they are, it's lovely. So now that that's gotten a little layer, I'm going to go in with the aloe gel I use. So this actually broke. This is why it's in this container. This aloe gel is actually, let's see if I have it. I don't have it around me. This is the Holika aloe gel, but it broke. So I put it in a different container. This stuff is like pretty much just like aloe. And it's lovely for your skin. And since it's a pretty nice concentration of aloe, I've been using this product for a long time. My skin likes it. It absorbs really fast. And it just gives more water. Just like more freshness. Like, you can never get enough freshness on the skin, I feel like, for normal skin. It just, as long as you lock it in well, and this creates like a sticky, like we're getting in thickness. We went from souffle. Now this is kind of like a watery stickiness. We're gonna wait for this to really cook into my skin. I'm gonna give myself a little hand massage, get back to the story time. So in school, I have actually gotten a chemical peel as a student. That's great. Getting a facial every weekend is great. I'm a little cautious of letting people like touch my skin because I just don't know them, and the transference of energy for me is super important for me. So I only let one person regularly do facials on me, but I'm open to letting maybe 2 or 3 people do facials on me because I've gotten to really vibe with them. And it's fun to like get to know people energetically like that. So yeah. What else have we done? We've been doing exfoliation, skin analysis, and makeup removal. And it's really cool. And cleansing massage. So we did makeup removal, cleansing massage, exfoliation massage, skin analysis, and anatomy and histology and physiology of the skin, which were my favorite chapters. I did really well on those quizzes, except for the histology quiz. I didn't do too good on that one, but I can make it up. So finally, in my official skincare routine, there's only like 2 more products. This is the last of the moisturizer section. It's the Embryolisse Light Creme Concentrate. I can't say that. I tried to say it in French. Let's try that again. The Embryolisse Light Cream Concentrate. Light Creme. Ooh, maybe that's how you say Embryolisse Light Creme Concentrate. I'm not even going to try anymore. Anyway, this stuff is like a 4-in-1. It's lovely. It's moisturizing. They do have 2 types. They have like an anti-aging type and a moisturizing type. I use the moisturizing type. It's multifunctional. It's a moisturizer as well as a primer, as well as a mask, as well as a cleanser. Yes, so you can use this product as a milky cleanser instead of my La Roche-Posay cleanser. It does that same function. Or you can use it as a mask and just put a thick layer on and sleep in it or tissue off. You can also, what I would do actually is I would put it on at night, and then whatever was left in the morning, that's what would be my milky cleanser. If I cleansed during the morning, but I don't cleanse in the morning anymore. And you can use it as a primer or a moisturizer. I'm going to use it as a moisturizer. So these are like the hand movements of the cleansing massage. I find it very effective for putting on toner. And moisturizer. Nice. So now that that lovely moisturizer is on, I just applied the Embryolisse Light Crème Concentrate. I tried to say that in French, but I just don't know how else to say it in English. Late cream concentrate? I don't know. That late is throwing me off. After I apply that, I'm going to go in with a Dr. Paw Paw Scrub and Nourish Lip Sugar Scrub and Moisturizer. I already scrubbed my lips, so I'm just going to go in with the moisturizer side. Alright, and then finally, I'm going to add sunscreen. This is the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue Defense Radiant Protective Veil. It protects against blue light damage. Not all sunscreens do. And it's also got a lovely Snapchat filter effect. It's got sugar in it to help moisturize. It doesn't really dry me out. And guys, I go in. I really do. I actually have one for body and neck, so I'm just going to do my face. This tube is too small. So yeah, since sunscreen can go through glass, so if you're sitting near a window, like my desk is near a window, you want to make sure that you're doing what you can to protect your skin at all times, because free radicals, that's what happens. Free radicals are molecules that take your electrons, I believe it is, so they make your skin unstable because they take the atoms, literally they be stealing the electrons. So we want to give our skin ingredients that have lots of extra electrons in them. I think that's it. So that they can be safe. And that's antioxidants. That's what our vitamin C does. That's how our vitamin C keeps our skin protected. And that needs sunscreen to shield it, so that you're putting all these lovely actives, but then you're not protecting your skin. It's kind of pointless. So let's check. See how I did. Okay, lovely. Pretty much all blended out. This one does not leave too much of a cast. I have tried it on darker skin. It doesn't leave too much of a cast. It's not invisible on darker skin, but it's not terrible either. On pale skin like mine, I find it to be quite lovely. Actually, instead of foundation, I find it to be sufficient to feel radiant and kind of blur effect. Like the blur effect is cute. So now I feel protected, hydrated, moisturized, cleansed, nourished, and ready to go. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Shaman Esme, and you've been staying tuned with Activate with Shaman Esme, my platform centered around makeup, metaphysics, and self-exploration. Have a great day.